Since the last 3 years, I'm in charge of business development at Intellect, which, for those who don't know, yes, we are a software house of about 4,000 people, exclusively building solutions for the financial sector, which are running now in about 200 financial institutions all over the world. This presentation is all about bringing digital revolution to support your business for the future, by helping you to adapt progressively to full digital 360, both for what your customer will see and feel when he uses the systems, but also rapidly adapting the inside of your systems and your organization to align with rapidly changing business needs. Let's go back to our eagle. Just like him, our financial institutions have lived for a long time. Just like him, we have been able to survive about 40 years without changing a lot of our processes, with a lot of paperwork, and with clients coming to us and not changing financial institutions. Looking around me and in the room, it looks like we are all 40 years old, or we have 40 years experience. But the market is changing. Every client today wants everything immediately. You're the good example, and I'm the good example. When I'm sitting at your place, we have 100 things which we do simultaneously on top of assisting to this conference. And thank you for those who look up now and then. I was just for laughing. Financial institutions see now that their clients are easily going elsewhere. They are more open to proposals from newcomers. But if we look at some of the recent statistics, we just seen a study that 70% of the English SMEs say that their banker never contacts them. So they're very open to newcomers and other people proposing them new things. And that's going to happen everywhere. That's just an example. They're open to newcomers. They're open to people who launch new initiatives. They're open to subsidiaries of larger banks who start up new things. This eagle is just too old to be playing that game, so he has to change. Worse, in a lot of cases, financial institutions do not want to change or do not want to see that change and think they can survive as is. But revolution is in the air. Some of us tend to stick to the existing technology, even though it is old and outdated, with the basic message that it can still survive a year or two or a year or three, and then we'll see afterwards, and it's too hard to change. This is probably the moment to think about it, to decide whether you want your market to be taken away by newcomers, or, like our eagle, if you want to change and be part of the game. So, like our eagle, it's time to take a helicopter view on what's going on around you, and to see how your customers are behaving now. SMEs, individual customers, large corporates. They're expecting things to happen when they take this in their hand, or that in their hand, and not waiting for you to take, eventually, an appointment in 3 weeks in your branch. That is probably the outside part of your bank. But to support that, the inside of your bank will have to change as well and completely adapt to have real-time procedures so that things flow automatically from one process to another without having a paperwork that is laying on the desk for somebody and going to somebody's other desks. And I know that a lot of you still have a lot of paperwork in your processes. But nothing of that is happening without pain. I'm not telling you that I'm going to install you a software who solves your problem. or even my partner is not going to install you a software who solves your problem. That's the easy part to see, but you obviously have to rethink, restructure your procedures, your way of working, and your way of doing things internally, on top of having a good support from a system which is built for digital revolution. Because that's the aim and the goal of what we have been building for the financial world, is to make sure that we live another generation, whatever a generation means. Yeah. So it's time for digital revolution, and I mean revolution. It's time because the market is demanding it. Every customer, every SME, every corporate uses, just like you, the thing which is laying in front of him or in his hands, and expects services from that, and the best services in real time. That's the digital revolution. The digital evolution has to come with your systems adapting to that. But let's look at the potential of your own market. Even if it's not going to change tomorrow morning, but here in Ukraine, 90% of the potential payments are still done in cash. Things will change. Your banking is a lot based on corporate. Only half of the people have a bank account. Things will change if we offer them easy to use, cheap services which they can trust on these things. That is what the digital revolution is about, and only looking at these numbers, I believe that just in your country, like any other country we've gone to, there's market opportunities for those who want to take them. Whereas this morning you addressed already a number of these challenges, namely on the economic turbulence in your sector, on the different performances from your individual bank. This study from McKinsey also clearly points out that your branch networks are much too large, that you have much too much paper-based transactions and too much cash. But there are actions necessary to help there, and that is why the technology can optimize your performance by simplifying these branch processes a maximum, by sending your sales force out of the branch to the customer with the right tools in his hand and the right software on it to make sales, cross-selling, customer contact available where the customer is. More revolution is expected even if we look at the global trends which McKinsey has studied in this country and comes out with priority. So let's just look at two priorities here, which are developing the customer-centric model so that when your sales force sit in front of a customer, whether he be an individual, an SME or a corporate, that your sales guys have the total view of what is going on with that customer and not with an account number, as it happens quite a lot. And then secondly, that your distribution channels come as optimized as possible, which really means outside of your branch network, even though it is enormous. What do we, Intellect, together with our partner FBS, have to offer you? Our systems are built together with about 25 from our top customers to think about business growth, to think about selling more products per customer, to sell more products to every customer, and to make sure the transaction can grow linearly on your system. So how will we help you? I'd like you very much, when you have a bit of time this afternoon during the break, to come and see some of our demos. I'm going to show you, together with our partner FBS, what we bring in the hands of your sales force, whether it's on the very small thing they have in their hand, or whether it's on the bigger thing, or whether it's really on a laptop. Same application, just different presentation because of the size of the device. Same application, same development. Now our promise is wide, but we're up to it. We'll bring solutions to progressively adapt your environment. No big banks. Big bang with a G, not with a K. No big bank approach. but small progressive processes, small applications, small projects to make sure that you can bring rapidly some digital stuff to your sales force. Typical examples are customer onboarding, because your growth starts with conquering new customers. The applications we have are fully built to go with a tablet to a customer and to sign him up, including things like taking a picture of the documents he has to present, passports, and anything you need from him legally, and to make him sign digitally and electronically on these devices. Once onboarded, the second thing we give in the hand of your sales force is complete customer views, and then really mean complete, whether that's an individual, a family, an SME, or a corporate, to see his transactions, to see all outstanding loans, but also to propose new product to the same environment. So we allow that on top of seeing what is going on at the customer side, to propose to your sales force new programs to sell to the customer. The product factory we have behind that allows you to define yourself new tools, new products, new form of loans, which you can parameterize and launch in a very short time to the sales force without needing your supplier. And then what is more, and what is the most important thing I probably believe, is that your sales force has to be able to use these applications just like they download any other app from the App Store. Your apps have to be so simple that they are intuitive, that they start playing with it without needing intensive training. And a good example is the three of us downloaded yesterday some new apps. We have no training, just looks at the apps and we'll play with them this afternoon when we demoed them to you. Examples of making that as flexible as possible is that in no time we can build, or you can build as a product manager with the tools, new solutions like new loans, new models of loan repayments, which you can give immediately to your sales force, who then in front of the customer can immediately negotiate repayment schedules, loans, etc. Just an example of an application which can be brought rapidly to life, because on top of that, we allow you to play fully around with pricing of your products based on customer segments, based on products, based on channels, and a mix of all that, so that you can build a very flexible pricing model in front of your client. But obviously, it also comes to life. I know there's going to be skeptical people saying that, hey, how do you develop that? We have built, since more than 5 years now, a system where we talk to a virtual device which does not look like that, which does not look like that. It's just virtual, and then when we show it on one of these devices, we just adapt the screen layout to fit a maximum on an ergonomic way, so it can be easily used by your sales force in front of the customer. That enables then to make sure you go to the customer side with one tool. You don't have to wait in your branch for your customer and sit at your screen to work with him. It can be working offline in remote areas where you have no connectivity, or just to a shopping center. If there's no connectivity there, you can still use it. But it can be used in different environments, mainly helping you to optimize your sales, and that's what it's all about. That's where our systems are used. That really means everywhere. I'm not saying the branch is dead. The same application can be used inside the branch, but it is built to be able to go to the customer where he is and do the business there. On a tablet, obviously you get the best visibility in something which is not too big, where you can add things like scanning fingerprint, take pictures from the documents, and things like that. We make sure that every app you install or your salespeople download, that they get a very nice view on what it is, so they immediately understand what that application is about. A loan has a specific logo which you define. A loan repayment, collections, they all have logos which you can define so they easily can understand and click on it. We fully walk away from menus. Nowhere anymore you have to download a menu, then a second menu, then a third menu to go to your application. Immediately, just like you use your phone for any app you have downloaded, you have an onboarding app, you click on it, you're immediately in the application. That's what we'll show you this afternoon. More than 100 apps are ready for you to use. Obviously, 100 apps would mean long projects and long of things. It's not the way we suggest you start. Take a few apps and start. Customer onboarding, card sales applications, loan processing applications can be individual things which can be packaged and launched quickly in the market. And next to that, we bring on top of that support for a number of peripherals which can be used together with these devices, card readers, fingerprint readers, scanners, etc., as you need them for the application. But we have been thinking about this technology on top of that, not only the functionality, so that it is scalable, it can grow quickly, it is component-based, so you can take the pieces which are necessary to run so, and it is full SOA architecture, which really means that it's too much there. You can only pick the pieces which you want. The systems we'll show you have been conceived 12 years ago on a fully modular base. Models then really meant, okay, let's do lending, and then look, let's do one screen which does lending, the good PC which you have, or the good black screen you had on your table. From there on, we moved completely to SOA, which made it totally feasible to use one application and link it to the rest of your existing applications. 3 years ago, we made it completely app-based so it could run as an app. And 2 years ago, we made it device-independent. Once you have defined an application, it runs on any Android device, any iOS device, any laptop you can imagine. But we believe that that works when we implement that at your sites, like we have been doing over 200 times now in the world. That works if we work with a strong local partner who speaks your language, who understands your business. That's what we do where we go everywhere. So here as well, we do it together with our partner FBS. So when we start working with our clients, we talk about, let's do the first digital piece which brings you extra business. Let's define what is going to bring you business. Do you want to change new clients? So let's do the client onboarding thing. Do you want to go to your existing clients in the households and give them home loans or car loans? Let's just do that as a beginning. That makes it a short project with a short implementation cycle, a low cost, and no upfronting capital expenditure, and no big bang. Once that runs, we can then replicate that for other business applications. Just wanted to end up to say you can rely on us together with our partner, not because I'm standing here, but because we have been doing this for more than 12 years. Originally, our company exists more than 25 years, but these types of applications, since 12 years, we've installed it in more than 200 environments in the world. And if I take some of the recent examples there, we just started up at Axis Bank in 5 different countries. Loan origination only. That's where they decided they would conquer market share. Just do the loan origination, go to the people, and then don't change the rest of the system at all. We also did it in the largest Malaysian bank, Hong Leong Bank, where we did in 6 months, first personal loans, then car loans, then credit cards. And we're also doing it at large places like Walmart, the largest US distributor. His financial services are using our systems for card processing and consumer credit. That's just 3 of the last examples. And I thank you very much for listening. you.